It's mean the world to me because I don't get to really talk to my kids a lot. So just to be able to send them something from me and them to be able to hear my voice is a lot for them and myself.
I actually came into my incarceration pregnant. The Storybook has been extraordinary because he's been able to hear me all these years.
Well, across Texas, there are more than 10,000 women in the Texas prison system. In fact, the state of Texas incarcerates more women than any other state. And according to the Texas Criminal Justice Coalition, more than 80% of women in Texas prisons are mothers. Joining us this morning, we have Jill Gonzalez, the executive director of the Women's Storybook Project. Jill, thanks for coming back to the show.
Thank you for having me.
We really appreciate all the work you do because your organization really serves children of incarcerated women in Texas, and it's an amazing organization serving a really big need in our state. And talk to us about, what you all need to do that, to provide this service.
So thank you. That's a really great question. So we are celebrating our 20th anniversary this year, and the most important resource that we take advantage of is people power. Mm-hmm. So there are 3 of us on staff, but we serve 12 prisons. So we need team leaders and volunteers to go and record the women, mm-hmm. and then to also work in the office and make sure those recordings get to the right child.
And how does somebody get involved and get to volunteer with your organization?
So that's pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
We have a website, storybookproject.org, and to get started, you just go to that website and fill in a simple form, and then our volunteer intake person contacts you and talks you through the background check information. So that's really important for the Department of Criminal Justice.
Sure.
And people can also volunteer without doing that. They can volunteer in the office, but it's all on the website.
Okay, so we'll have that information up. But you mentioned you guys just celebrated 20 years,
Yes.
which is amazing. Congratulations on that, by
Thank
the
you.
way. Tell me about how the organization, you guys have evolved over the past 2 decades.
I'm amazed that it's been 20 years, and that's a really long time within the justice system too, to stay around. And our founder, Judith Dulnig, started in 2003 mm-hmm. with 5 volunteers and some tape recorders, cassette tapes, mm-hmm. and some books, and went into 1 prison. And she said the first time they did it, they knew they had a hit because they went back the first month, and the mothers reported that the children slept with their cassettes and took them to school for show and tell. And it just helped the whole family and gave them hope. We've evolved to using URLs. Mm-hmm. So we no longer send a physical product except for the book.
Okay.
We have a label in the book that has the URL and states the mom and the child, and the children are actually better at it than the caregivers.
I would imagine. I mean, kids and technology these days,
Yeah.
they can work iPads at the age of 2. But, real quickly, the, letting people know again to volunteer. You are in need of volunteers, so do not hesitate to reach out if this is something that interests you, because, you think of the children who are impacted, their mothers away in prison, and this mm-hmm. helps restore that connection they have with their family.
It really does, and you think about how children are traumatized, mm-hmm. and especially at this time of year, and the mothers not being able to walk your child to school,
it's
not
so
being
hard.
able to give that kissing hand story.
Yeah.
And it's so necessary for these children to know they're loved.
Thank you, Jill, so much.
Thank you.